We are returning. We're back. We're talking about... We're live, pal. What's wrong?
Live, pal.
What's up with your background, pal?
Yeah, where are we?
We're in the holodeck.
I'm in the holodeck.
We're in the holodeck.
It's
Why?
sci-fi. I don't know. Do you want me to go back to Exploding Anita?
No, go keep it.
Go
No,
back
that's fine,
to Exploding Anita. There you go. I'm getting blown up. I'll go back to that. There he is, right there, getting blown up. You gotta watch the show on YouTube, Nation Wrestling. Guardians of the Galaxy, 2014. It is time for a good movie. So many bad movies. Time for
You're saying my movies are bad movies? How dare you?
You've done
Demolition
some
Man.
really good ones in the past.
Demolition Man's awesome.
I've been
Even though
circling
that's my
through.
movie now.
Yeah, did you actually watch Demolition Man, Wally?
I did not.
Since you missed
I
the
did
last
not.
3 weeks where you wanted to do it.
I did not. I didn't get to watch
It's
it.
really weird.
It's
pretty
great.
crazy. Mike
I might watch that tonight before I go to bed.
You should.
It's, yeah. I don't know if it's a good go-to-bed movie, but...
I've realized anything's a good go-to-bed movie.
No, you need, there's a certain style of movie you can easily fall asleep to.
Oh, you know what's a really good
Floating
movie?
action movies are hard to fall asleep to.
Really good movie that I watched recently. I just kept watching in bed. I had to force myself. Broadcast News. 80s movie. Good movie. Very funny.
Yeah. There you go. This is Guardians of the Galaxy. Came out in 2014. I wanted to know because Bill you had never seen it. You knew nothing about it, I said.
I knew about it because it was so big, but no, I had not ever seen it at all.
I knew some of this stuff. I remember them saying, we're going to make a movie about a raccoon that shoots a machine gun and a tree. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I want to see that.
Well, I
knew nothing about the background of Guardians of the Galaxy before.
Yeah.
Before it came out. Until I heard those things, and I looked it up.
Having been a big comic book fan, I was
right. You
very
knew
excited.
more than all of us.
And that was I became a comic book fan more in my 20s than anything.
No,
kind of
you were reading
because
comics for sure in college.
yeah, my 20s.
20s.
Yeah, but before that, I think too.
No, it was. You know what really got me back into it was Iron Man, the original Iron Man movie. Yeah.
In 08?
Yeah. And maybe then. Yeah, maybe
no, it was before that.
Yeah,
No,
it must have been before.
I remember you reading comics in Siena. So.
Yeah, college was 06, 07 for me.
A couple of years before Iron Man.
But yeah.
So yeah, you knew about these guys before this movie.
Yes, and I loved Guardians. I loved it, even though the lineup I read was different. It was still Rocket and Groot and Peter.
Right. And the storyline is a little bit different with his parents.
Obviously. But I was very.
So you were excited for this when it was about to come out.
This was Marvel had not gone this full tilt yet.
We'd seen Thor though.
We'd seen Thor,
but it was very serious.
Thor was very it wasn't like
it wasn't like it is now.
Yes, it wasn't. What was the good one called? Ragnarok.
Awesome movie.
Yeah. Yes. Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is a great movie because it was basically playing off this movie.
Yes.
And how to make a movie.
But this was Marvel's real shot in the dark because
they had done Captain America 1.
They had
Winter Soldier because this was an awesome year because Winter Soldier came out in March.
Mm-hmm.
And then this came out in August.
And the other thing is these were completely unknowns. You could be Captain America, Hulk, Iron.
Right.
Some
you can
people
get away with that.
Iron Man. You could sell Iron Man, but Guardians, that's a much tougher sell.
Yeah, that came out of left field, and like Ryan was saying, I had no idea what they were.
My friend
Stefan. Yeah, my friend Stefan's like, oh yeah, there's going to be another Marvel movie. It's got a tree, it's got a raccoon, and they're in space. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
I at this point was out on the Marvel stuff just because I'd only seen 1 or 2, and by that point there was 8 movies already. I was too far behind. But then raccoon in space, don't care. Nope, Not going to draw me
Didn't
back.
do it for you?
No.
Yeah.
What if it was Christopher Nolan's raccoon in space?
Then yeah, I would at least give it a whirl.
Christopher Nolan's raccoon in space.
What would you do if Interstellar, if it was Interstellar, but it was Matthew McConaughey and a raccoon? Not like a talking raccoon. It's just a raccoon.
Just a raccoon.
Just a raccoon.
How about instead of Anne Hathaway, it was Matthew McConaughey and a raccoon?
Still Christopher Nolan?
Still Christopher Nolan.
Amen.
Okay.
The raccoon never. Well, that movie was. The raccoon was up there. He got super old on the. Super old.
I love it.
Old raccoon.
That's way better than this show's going to be. The redoing Interstellar with the raccoon. All right, so Bill, you're watching this for the first. You watched this for the first time.
It's brand new.
We've all seen it. All the rest of us have seen it. Pretty sure. The music is one of the big things of the movie. So did you know about the music before you saw it, Bill?
Yes, and while it was good, it was a little bit of a letdown because it was not what I think I was thinking more of Thor or something. Like it was much more poppy than I was expecting. But it was still fun.
What were you thinking? What are you thinking Thor?
I thought they were like classic rock and stuff. Or is that just the one song? Is that just
in Ragnarok, they have Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, is that the only one? Is that what I'm thinking?
That's the only song.
There's,
they've used other songs, I'm sure, in other movies, but
no, I mean it was still good. It was just a
more
lot
pop hits than classic rock hits. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So real quick, we all kind of know the story, but Peter's mom dies of brain cancer. He gets abducted by aliens. It's 1988, and we fast forward to the present day. Peter's on the planet Morag, searching for something, and this is my favorite scene, maybe in the whole movie.
This is one of the greatest. I remember watching this.
What a great opening scene!
Because I could not have been more happy with the way this movie ends. I just remember having a smile on my face while listening to
"Come and Get Your Love."
"Come and Get Your Love" by the who is it?
Don't know.
Shoot, I'm looking at the soundtrack now.
Maybe it's not called
Redbone. Yes, it's not on the soundtrack. Weird.
It's a great scene though of him
good.
Putting the Walkman on. His mom gives him the Walkman in the beginning before she dies, and then so he's listening to the same. He has no other music because he's been abducted by aliens.
Such a good way to break the ice on this movie.
Because it's so heavy in the first 5 minutes. And
yes. And then
so
just to
funny.
Be no, this is going to be the tone of the movie.
Yeah, this movie is going to be kind of silly.
Yes.
And we get to see Star-Lord, Peter, dancing around, kicking aliens and using them as microphones.
Yes.
It's hilarious. What did you think of Chris Pratt at the time of leading man Chris Pratt? Because I was very excited because I had already seen Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec.
I wasn't sure how leading man he would be.
I wasn't sure. I knew he could pull off the comedy, but then also I knew he could look the part too because he was just in
he was in
Zero Dark 30.
Not Torchwood. What was the?
Yeah.
What was that show he was in where it was like a Dawson's Creek kind of show?
Oh, I don't know.
A hot dude in it before.
I don't know, but being in Zero Dark 30 as a seal. Baby seal, that's where I was just oh, okay, he could do, he could look the part. So
Morag is destroyed, and he's using a history gun to see what it used to look like.
Yes.
Are we to assume that Thanos destroyed this planet?
Yes, I believe so. And in the comics, he uses an element gun, which I believe he stole from someone, an element gun which shoots different elements at them. And actually today or yesterday, someone did ask James Gunn, the director, who is terrific at answering fans real questions. It was why didn't you use the element gun? He always had the element gun. And he said pretty much that was just one step too far in the weirdest direction where you can only give people so a
we've got to deal with this tree first.
a worldwide audience to be like, yeah, there's a big tree, there's a talking raccoon, there's aliens, but like the element gun,
weird
it's not
aliens, too.
essential, and it's just a step too far, which I get.
But a history gun.
Yes.
Not too. He goes in, he steals this orb, and bad guys show up, and they have this funny standoff, which is kind of like a Western, but it's very silly.
Yes.
Like, here's my outlaw name. They're like, who are you?
Who?
Which was in the trailer.
Yes.
And this movie maybe had one of the best trailers
trailer.
ever.
Yes.
Awesome trailer with the what song is that? I Can't Fight This Feeling in it.
Yes.
I want to take a minute to talk about the color of the movie, because the coloring in the movie is so cool. Like the bright red, like the bright colors. If you go back and watch it like a second or a third time, James Gunn kind of talked about the colors and how everything had to be this like outlandish coloring from like the 70s, and like bright orange. You'll notice like some spaceships are like really weird bright orange.
Very comic booky.
Yeah, it looks like a comic book.
It needed that.
So Korath, dude who plays Korath, it's pretty funny in this movie. I forget his name, but he's in Captain Marvel.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
He's in Captain Marvel as well.
He's in everything. Gladiator.
He's in what was the Never Back Down? If you saw that movie?
No. Nope. Never saw that.
He's in that movie, Fist Up, Guns Up. You know that movie.
So Peter almost escapes. He gets in his spaceship called the Milano.
Yes.
I love that. Fucking love that.
He's taunting them as he's about to escape with a giant like waterfall thing, blasts his ship, and it almost falls. He has to save himself, and then some random girl pops up and says, "What's going on?"
Oh, that's right.
He had a one-night stand or something, and the girl is still there.
Right.
Forgot. She was there, and he doesn't remember her name even. It's like
he says, like, I'm just gonna be honest. I forgot that you were here.
Very funny. And then after that, Yondu calls. Yondu is the alien who we find out who abducted Peter back in 1988. And he's trying to figure out why he went on his own to steal this orb. Peter's going to sell it for himself, apparently. And Yondu is a fantastic character. Played by Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Who is in tons of great movies and all of James Gunn movies. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Guardians 3. Spoilers. But he's trying to track down Peter and get this orb. And then basically hangs up on him, says he's going to go on his own. We meet Ronan the Accuser.
Yes.
Who is just like generic Marvel bad guy.
Yeah.
He's not that interesting. What'd you say, Bill?
I thought he looked great as a bad guy.
He looks cool.
Yeah.
He's a giant hammer that he crushes some dude's skull with.
This was the first movie that we actually... Well, no, we didn't see...
No, we saw Thanos because you talking about Thanos? Or
this was after Avengers.
This was after Avengers 1, for sure.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
When was Avengers 2? 2015?
This was Phase 2, for sure.
Yeah, this was Phase 2.
So this is the first time we saw Thanos talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he smiled in the first Avengers. He didn't do anything else. So he's basically...
When did he say, "I'll do it myself"?
That was Avengers 2.
That was after Ultron.
Okay.
2015.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was 2015. So you saw that movie, Bill. Completely out of context.
Yeah.
With us. Like, you're going to Avengers 2 with us. Which turned out to be probably one of the worst Marvel movies.
It's
pretty bad.
I don't think it's bad. I think after seeing it recently, I think it holds up better than a lot of other ones.
Okay.
The two first Thor movies and Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 is bad. Iron Man 3 is kind of bad.
I got a soft place for Iron Man 3. I think it's pretty good.
We meet Ronan the Accuser. He's a Kree, and he's trying to blow up Xandar, but I don't know why.
Of course, Xandar.
Nebula and Gamora, they're Thanos' daughters, 2 awesome characters. And they're going to go track down Peter. That's when we meet Rocket and Groot for the first time, and they're just the best part of this movie by far. They're awesome in this part where that Rocket's just making fun of people with his little thing when he's trying to find a bounty, and Groot is drinking out of a water fountain, and Rocket's like, "Yo, that is gross. Stop doing that."
Bill, what did you
fun
think
scenes.
of Bradley Cooper as Rocket?
I couldn't tell that it was him. Like, there was nothing about it that was Bradley Cooper. But I mean, you did a good job with it.
Nah.
You didn't like him?
No. I was just since Bradley Cooper, I was like, at the time, I was just like, I don't know if Bradley Cooper can do that. But
But he did.
it was supposedly it was either him or Bruce Willis. And I think Bradley Cooper's good.
I think they made the right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was good. But there's nothing that I thought, like, oh, like, if it's Bruce Willis, it just feels like Bruce Willis. I feel like.
Did you know who
Right.
played Groot?
Yeah, well, I read who plays Groot.
Vin Diesel. What a gig. Say
But
I am
you
Groot
know-
over and over again. He does a good job with it. But
You know the supposed story behind how they do it?
they transfer his like voice over or something?
No.
Well, they gave him actual lines, right?
Yeah, no, he's given like
Oh, he knows what he's gonna say and he has to convey
Yeah.
it in I am Groot? Is that what you're saying?
yes. Like he knows what he's saying and he has to convey it. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
weird.
Interesting. It's like how in what was the first Star Wars movie when it came back, BB-8. Ben Schwartz did all the beeps and the boops for
Right.
BB-8.
Right.
They gave him like, okay, this is what you want to convey, and he did all the like beeps and boops. It's funny. Also a Parks and Rec guy. So Peter tries to sell the orb, but the broker, the guy who's selling it to, doesn't want it because Ronan wants it. So then he can't sell it, and then there's a tussle between Gamora trying to track it down, Rocket, and Groot. The 3 of them all fight in the streets, try to get this orb, and then they all get arrested by Xandarian police. And we get a fun part where Peter has been arrested before, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's you, Star Prince,
Yes.
Star Lord, guys." It's not weird to have a code name. It's not weird at all. Even though everyone has code names in the Marvel universe,
know.
but apparently Xandar hasn't run into that. So we get the jail processing detailed dump, where we get information on everybody of who they are. And then the fun moment from the trailer where Peter makes the crankshaft middle finger.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
I'm sorry. I
I
didn't know how this machine worked.
And what's the guy's name who plays like the head of Xandar security? He's very funny.
John C. Riley.
No,
Yes.
the other guy. The other guy.
Peter Serafinowicz?
Yeah. He's like, what a bunch of assholes. This is a good part. And the whole jail thing is awesome. That whole jail scene is so good. Rocket and Groot protect Peter. Like, nobody's going to mess with him, and then Groot beats people up because he's the muscle in the prison. Everyone wants to kill Gamora. Groot and Rocket don't care about her. They don't want to protect her at all. But Peter does because he's got the hots for her. And then we meet Drax. Batista finally shows up. Now, let's talk about Batista for a minute, because a couple of years before this movie, we watched a movie with Batista in it, starring Batista and Rob Van Dam. What was the name of that piece of
A
shit?
movie Bill walked out on.
Bill left the viewing of this like, I don't even want to hang out and drink
Do we
beer
remember
anymore.
the title of the movie?
No.
You
No.
don't, Bill? Do you?
No.
The Wrong Side of the Tracks.
All right, wrong side of the tracks. The Batista Rob Van Dam movie. Bill was like, I can't even
And I
stand
believe Ja
be here
Rule?
I think it was Ja Rule.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going from that to this. So I had a lot of because originally it was supposed to be Jason Momoa.
Yes. He
Oh,
was.
really?
Something
He
happened.
was first considered.
He was pretty close to doing it.
Yeah, I think he
And
was.
I don't know if they gave him Aquaman or that like screwed it up or
Yeah.
what, but he didn't end up doing it. And they talked about bringing Batista in, and at the time I was like, holy shit, I've just seen Wrong Side of the Tracks, and this guy cannot act at all. But no, he is he's a great possible scene stealer of the whole movie.
Oh, he's
Drax
up
is a
there.
great character.
He's up there.
It's even
I think
funnier
it's
in the
more
second
to-
one, but
It's smart to give him, especially at this point, to give him the character that like you have no emotion or whatever. Like anger is all you know.
Just deadpan.
he plays it so well.
Yes.
The fact that he doesn't understand anything and takes everything literally is very fun, and he does a great job with it. So he wants to kill Gamora, but then Peter convinces him not to, and says that you can go and kill somebody by slashing his throat. And Drax doesn't understand why you would put a finger to your throat. What does that mean?
Why would I touch his throat with my finger?
Yeah, so that's good. And then the guards basically don't care if Gamora's going to die or not. They don't protect anybody once, like, night comes. They don't care. Kill people. They say, just kill her in the shower so we don't have to clean it up.
Yeah.
That's all they care about. You find out that Drax, his whole family was killed by Ronan. But isn't later, doesn't he say that what's his name killed his whole family? Thanos? So
Yeah, I
who
think he
actually killed
finds.
his whole family?
I think Thanos. He finds out
it's-
Thanos did it. What was it?
It's that Ronan did it, but it was on Thanos' orders, so
Right.
that's why he.
But
changes
then
his
doesn't
vendetta
Thanos
to
say like he did it later? I don't know. Anyway,
In the comic books, it was Thanos.
Thanos. Yeah.
Okay, so he
But
wants
also,
to kill
he wasn't an alien in the comic books. He was just a regular guy that was
Thanos
transformed.
was?
No, Drax.
Oh, Drax.
Yes, he was not
I
an
didn't know that.
alien.
So yeah, so he's pissed off. He wants revenge. Ronan gets summoned by Thanos and has a good scene where he kills the what's that guy's name? Harold or whatever.
Oh yes. He
Of
kills that
Thanos,
dude.
he twists his head around backwards.
Yes.
Somehow, I don't want using his powers, pisses Thanos off, and Thanos is like, you better shape up and get me that fucking orb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Rocket says that he has escaped 22 prisons, and that he's gonna get them out of there. He's got a plan, and then he details the plan, which is all this stuff. With the last part being, you have to get the alarm off the wall. Groot, just because he's basically like a child, just goes and gets the alarm off first, which is supposed to be last. And then we get the funny scene of Peter has to retrieve a guy's leg, a prosthetic
Oh,
leg.
that's right.
And he has to pay the guy money, and he's like, "You want to take what?" And so they basically take all this crap. They get to the tower. They take the tower over, and then we find out that Rocket was just fucking around with Peter. I didn't need that leg. I just thought it would be funny if you had to go get it.
So good.
This is like a running theme throughout all the movies. So he turns off the gravity. All the people in the jail start floating around. They use the I don't know what those things are. Those little
Rav boots.
Shoot at them, and they use them to fly down the tunnel and get out of there.
Little drones.
Yeah, those little fighting drones that they fight. This part has an awesome scene where Groot is fighting those drones, and Rocket climbs up on top of him, and Drax throws him a machine gun, and he clicks it and is like, "Okay, let's go." This is a great scene. So everybody gets to the Milano, but Peter's like, "No, I'm not ready. I'm missing something." He has to go get his Walkman back from a dude who stole a prison guard who stole his Walkman. So he beats him up and takes the Walkman, and then get the funny scene where he comes back and Drax is like, "Great warrior and leader, what did you retrieve?" And he's like, "The Walkman." He's like, "What an imbecile."
You're an idiot.
Ronan and Yondu both try to find the orb. They head to the Guardians have to work together now to sell this orb. And they don't know what it is. They just know it's bad news. They got to get rid of it. So they go to the Collector, who is played by, what's his name there?
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, Del Toro. The Collector is a dude who basically collects things from the galaxy and puts it in his like museum house. He's super weird. He's basically Benicio del Toro, you know.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of like living specimens and stuff like that in cages,
including the assistant. His assistant is in a cage being tortured. Right.
Right.
The sister of the assistant.
The sister of the assistant. Right.
Yeah.
He lives on a planet called Nowhere, which is the head of a celestial being. Can you explain what that is?
It's not a planet. It's more of
It's a head.
It's a head.
Severed head that people live on.
And it's Nowhere. And yeah, it's a celestial
mining colony.
It's a celestial, which is kind of like giant space gods. And they will be showing up. They're supposed to be showing up this year in Eternals, but they will not now be.
Yeah.
But they're just giant robot alien god people, of course, in space.
There you go.
Duh.
So
Doizo.
While they're waiting for the Collector, they hang out at the bar that he owns, and Drax, Rocket, and Groot all get drunk and bet on alien lizard fighting, and fight with each other eventually. Peter and Gamora talk about music, and we learn about the Legend of Footloose.
Yes, the Legend of
The hero, Kevin Bacon, came along and saved everybody because people had sticks up their butts. And I was like, that's cruel even for me. Why would you put sticks up people's butts?
Who put their sticks up the butts?
She's like a murdering person with Thanos, but even sticks up people's butts is too much for her.
I just love the overall, they don't get his his jokes, his like...
Right.
Yeah.
I like when he... Earlier in the movie, there's like the stone people that work for Ronan. I don't know what they are. Those weird stone-looking dudes. And he's like, yo, Ninja Turtle, get off me. They do kind of look like Ninja Turtles a little bit. So the Collector explains the Infinity Stones, which become a huge part in all the other Avenger movies. This is the first time we knew what it was the whole time. But they actually explain it now and say, like,
and that's where you see a celestial.
Right, we see one kill a whole planet with a stick that Ronan's going to try to do later. And basically, if you can't touch these things, you're going to die. At one point, everybody tried to put the stones together, but they all blew up. Or was it just the one stone? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's not good. Don't touch these things.
Basically. Yeah, don't fuck around with them.
Drax finds a guy and calls Ronan the Accuser and says where they are. Come fight me. Doesn't go well. Karina wants to kill herself, so the assistant, so she explodes the Power Stone by touching it and blows up the Collector's house.
Yes.
Letting everybody out of his cages and stuff.
You see Howard the Duck. You see Cosmo the space dog.
Yes, Cosmo.
Cosmo, who was a big character in the comics, right?
Yes, in the comics that I read. I loved Cosmo.
Pretty sure he was one of the original Guardians, right?
And
no, at least in the comics I read, Cosmo was kind of like a liaison between
the story
Guardians and Sword. Sword is like shield of the space.
Shield for space.
Yeah.
And Cosmo is Russian and has a Russian accent.
Right. So the story is that the Russians sent a dog into space.
Yes.
And this is the dog, and he got abducted by aliens or something, and they gave him what is it? Mind melding powers, or what is it? What is his power again?
Something like that. Like he could read people's thoughts.
Yeah. So he can talk to people through their minds.
Yes.
Telepathy. That's what it is.
There you go.
Got there.
Telepathy, Sam.
Up there. Got there. So, yeah. So he escapes. Ronan kicks the living shit out of Drax and dumps him in a pool of brain goo to die. Rocket and Groot get in a fight. Rocket and Drax get in a fight with each other. Then he shows up. Then he gets dumped in goo. Then we get the battle of the mining ships, which is fun because they're indestructible. You can just smash them into people's ships. So you do that, but it doesn't all work out well because Gamora, her ship blows up and she floats out into space, and the bad guys get the orb, and Peter has to save her by putting on his mask so she can breathe because she's in space. So she lives.
Puts his mask on her, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she lives, and we kind of get the first hint that, like, he is not just a human being because he survived in space for a while.
Yes. There's no normal human.
He's not normal, yeah. So Rocket picks up, or I'm sorry, Yondu picks them up, saves them, picks them up. And then Rocket, Groot, and Drax decide that they're gonna go save them, which Rocket is not happy about. So then he kicks the grass, which is a funny scene.
You're making me kick grass.
He's so pissed off. He's just kicking grass. Ronan now has the stone, so he's like, "What the fuck do I need you for, Thanos? I know this is a Infinity Stone, so fuck you, go fuck yourself." And Thanos is not happy, but he makes a good point. I don't need you to destroy anything if I had this all-powerful stone, so what am I doing hanging out with you? Gamora, who's the other daughter of Thanos, is like, "You're going to kill Thanos? Sweet.
Nebula.
I'm on board. I'll hang out with you."
Nebula.
Right. Sorry. Nebula. She's like, "I'll hang out with you." She's a great character, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She turns babyface in the second movie.
Whoa.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I was going to make us watch it.
Good. So Yondu's beating up Peter, but then Peter convinces him, like, "No, we'll work together and we'll get the orb and you can take all the money as long as it's safe." So it all works out, but Rocket, Drax, and Groot show up with a giant moon-destroying gun. And they're going to shoot the ship. And Peter has to be like, "Everything's fine. Stop trying to shoot us with the moon-destroying gun." And then they all meet back up together. Rocket's like, "We tried to save you. What is that? What kind of thanks is that?" And Peter's like, "You try to save us by blowing this up. How are you planning on saving us? You were just going to blow up the ship." He's like, "We're going to figure that out later."
Yeah, we just established that you blowing up the ship is not saving us. When did we establish that? I wasn't listening. I could love Drax.
Yeah. And then we get the plan, which is a funny speech where he's like, "I have a plan. Let's work together as a group." And he's like, "How much of a plan do you have?" And he's like, 12%. That's it. 12%? 12% is not a plan.
And then Groot says, "It's better than 11%.
Yeah. And Peter says, "That's a fake laugh, Rocket." Like, "No, that is a more legitimate laugh." That's very funny. So they make a plan. It all works out. We do the big rah-rah speech, and then Rocket, part of the plan, he's like, "All right, the plan sounds good, except I need that guy's robotic eye."
Yes.
And they're like, "Shut up."
They all stand up when they agree to actually do the plan, and Rocket's the last one, and he stands up. He's like, "Fine, now we're all standing like jackasses."
I'll stand too. Because they're like, "You're going to kill us. We're all going to die. We're going against an army. Like, there's like 12 of us, and we're going to die against this army." And it's very nice. So they do like the like, we're gonna kick ass slow motion walk. This is great too.
With Cherry Bomb, right?
Right. Is that Blondie that sings Cherry Bomb?
No. That was the Runaways.
The Runaways. So yeah, this scene is fun because it's them slow motion walking, getting ready for battle.
Yes.
Trying to look cool, except for they're picking their noses and like yawning. You rewatch it. Gamora's yawning. Rocket's doing like rubbing his nuts. they're all doing shit in slow motion. It's not very superhero like. And then we have the final battle, which is Yondu's people and the Guardians team up. They're gonna fight the Dark Aster, which is the weird, cool ship that what's his name has Ronan and his
and aren't
army
they teaming with
the Yondu's people, the Ravagers?
The Ravagers and what's it called? And the
Nova Corps.
The Nova Corps eventually show up because they're like, "We need your help. We're not full dickheads."
Yeah, I'm a dick, but I'm not a 100% dickhead.
100%.
I don't think anyone's 100%
I'm an
dick.
asshole, but I'm not 100% a dick. And he has to read that to Glenn Close, which is funny because she's such like a prestigious actress. He has to read the message to Glenn Close, and it's a funny little thing. So there's a battle in the air. They have to break into the ship and then shoot him with the moon blow-up gun, which they do all that, and it doesn't work. And he survives, and he's just fine. And then Ronan's guys end up suicide bombing the city, and it's a mess. And then they blow up he uses the power stone to blow up the net of Novacore people. They make a net out of their spaceships, and he blows them all up, kills them all. He's kind of a weird bad guy because he's like super cool at parts, and the other parts are just like whatever. Yeah. It's not very interesting, but this part is cool where he's just like he doesn't care that his ship is crashing. He's been shot by a moon gun because he has a stone, so he's just gonna shoot people with that and just figure it out later. Because all he has to do is reach the surface and touch the ground, and every piece of organic life will die. That's supposed to be gonna happen. Yeah. We get the fight between Gamora and Nebula. She gets all busted up, but she's a robot, so she gets herself put back together, and then she eventually falls off onto another ship and disappears. And this is the final battle. Very funny part where the Korath crew come out and fight, and Peter and all those guys, and Groot and Rocket, they fight the Korath guys, and Groot kills a bunch of dudes in a tunnel.
Yes.
By stabbing them with his long branch, and then just turns around and smiles. It's a very silly part. So the net blows up. The ship is going to crash. Groot makes a big tree nest. Nest ball thing to protect everybody. So when it crashes, they'll all be safe in his twigs. And they crash, and Groot dies, basically. He explodes.
We are Groot.
Right. We are Groot. They crash. Everyone's okay, except for Groot's dead, we think. Or is he dead? I guess that's a question for later. Ronan's still fine. Not a scratch on this guy. Been shot with a moon gun at point-blank range. Crashed his ship. But he's cool. He's I guess as long as he has a power stone, he can save himself. And he's distracted by dancing because the Milano's cassette player did not get busted. And Peter,
of course,
uses that to distract Ronan, and then they steal the stone by using the moon gun to blow up the hammer. And they all use their combined powers to use the stone to blow up Ronan, but they don't die for some weird reason. And then Yondu, in the middle of this, he crashes. He's not part of the battle, and he's like, I want that stone at the end of everything. And we get to see an awesome part where all the stone people try to surround Yondu, and he uses his whistle arrow thing to kill 50 guys. And it's an awesome scene.
I don't understand what that thing is, but it's a cool weapon.
It's connected to his brain somehow. That's what that thing on top of his head is.
The red fin,
Yeah.
He uses that to whistle and control the arrow?
Well, he doesn't control it with his head, boy. He controls it with his heart.
Oh, you're talking spoilers here. So Peter has a stone. He gives it to Yondu, and everyone's like, God damn it, we just fucking crashed. One of our dudes is dead. You just gave up the stone anyway? And he's like, don't worry, I tricked him. Or did he trick him? Because he gave him a orb with a troll in it. And Yondu's happy about it and doesn't tell anybody. He's just because he loves trolls. We see his ship earlier in the movie, and he has little troll figurines. So he's happy that he's a troll. But it does seem like he's excited that Peter fooled him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's happy about it. So
he's okay with he's okay with it.
He's okay with it. So Peter gives
losing a million, 100 million credits. Yeah. you're okay with losing 100 million units or whatever their money
But who are
is.
you going to sell it to? There was no way you're going to sell it to. It would be hard to
True.
sell, so maybe he wasn't so upset. Anyway, they give the stone to Glenn Close and her people so they can keep it safe. They do a great job, let me tell you. They do a bad job of keeping that safe. No, they don't. They get wrecked.
They do such a good job
Off
that we don't
screen.
even see it.
Yeah.
Right. They get wrecked off screen and we don't even see it get taken. Anyway, they get a new Milano, which they changed the name, right? It's not the Milano anymore. It's something.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? I forget.
And then they go off and find out Peter's half alien. That's why he could hold the stone. We don't know anything about his dad, but he's some kind of super alien. And gets his new ship, and then he opens the present. At the beginning, his mom gives him a present, and then he opens it at the end, and it's a new awesome mix. So he's been listening to the same cassette for 26 years, and now he has a new cassette made by his mom. So we get to see him play some new music. Gamora dances, and Baby Groot grows back in a little pop.
The Benatar is the other
from
side.
Benatar, right? Which also blows up, right? Doesn't the Benatar blow up too?
I don't know.
Yeah, so Baby Groot dances to Jackson 5 while Drax comes back to life while Drax is sharpening his knife and gets real pissed off because he thinks he sees Groot is alive again. And is Groot dead? And this is a new Groot? How does that work? Comic book wise,
I think I think it's one
Groot. It's always the same Groot, and he can just regrow himself.
Yep.
Because they really play on the Baby Groot stuff.
Yes.
In the second movie, which is a funny thing, but I wasn't sure if he was still the same guy or not. But then we get the funny scene of the Collector. This is the last post-credit scene. Collector is in this smashed place, and he's drinking some kind of like wine or something, and then it pans over and it's Howard the Duck also drinking the weird wine, and he's like, this stuff is gross. and then Cosmo comes over and licks the Collector's face, and he's like, why'd you let it lick you? It's funny. Howard the Duck was a Marvel movie that was awful.
Oh yeah.
So
what is the actual story of Howard the Duck?
He has sex with the one girl. That's all I remember.
Howard the Duck what?
Like, what is
the
his
movie?
What is supposed to be?
What?
What is he supposed to be? What is his deal?
He's a duck from comic books.
Is
yeah,
he,
like
an
what's
alien?
his storyline?
Alien? Like,
Yeah.
what is he?
I don't know. He's just
He was like a goofy,
like,
Mickey Mouse kind of guy.
Yeah, I think he was
Marvel.
supposed to be like a take on Mickey, like a Mickey Mouse, like a
Or
parody.
like a Looney Toony kind of guy. And then
Yeah.
they made a movie about him, and it was horrible.
It's supposed to be like I think it's supposed to kind of be like it's Marvel, the '70s, kind of like there's their satire on like Mickey Mouse and stuff.
Yeah. So somehow James Gunn convinced them to put him in their worst failure to put him in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think he shows up again in. He definitely shows up in Guardians 2, right? He has a part in Guardians 2. And he's in Avengers. In one of the Avengers, he shows up.
Does he?
He shows up in Endgame. He's in
Endgame. He's in the final battle, I think.
Yeah. He shows up in Guardians 2.
Is that like the strip club, right?
Yeah, at the strip club. And he's just talking. Yeah. Because I watched that after I watched this one.
Yeah. So, we've all seen it. Does it hold up as much as it did before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No, what did you think? You've never seen it.
It was fun. I have no idea how it fits in with the rest of it, but it was fun as like a standalone.
It just kind of fit on its own, but it is important because they have Thanos in there. Thanos is maybe the most important character in the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, it was enjoyable.
What do you think of Batista? A lot better than Wrong Side of the Tracks.
A whole lot better. Yes, indeed.
He was very good in this role.
I'll also say this was perhaps Vin Diesel's best role.
Ooh.
Where he doesn't say anything except for those 3 words.
Yeah.
Yep. I would agree.
Yeah, you hate Vin Diesel, don't you?
I don't really like Vin Diesel. No.
Yeah. And after this, Batista made a lot of good movies, or sort of good movies. He had big parts in them, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
He was in Spectre. He was in James Bond. He was in that movie where he was like an Uber driver or something. What was that?
Uber.
Stuber. Yep.
He
And
was
then there
in
was
the
another,
movie.
like, he was a bodyguard for somebody. Like a little girl or something.
Yeah, that
Came out
just came out.
last year. But
Yeah.
he's a full-on actor now, guys.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's it. I'm done. Who's next? Is it back to
I haven't
Wally?
been here.
Back
I
to
haven't
Wally.
been here in 3. Oh, it is back to me? Oh,
Yes.
Fuck, I wish I would have known. Fuck it, we'll just do the second one then.
I told you. I told you.
I wasn't prepared, so yeah, fuck it.
Wow.
We're gonna do the second one.
Wow. And you already watched it, so you're all set.
And I already watched it, so I'll just have to go back and take notes about it. So
Wow. Bill, you're getting caught up on the Marvel Universe. Next, we're going to do Avengers, Infinity War,
Yeah,
and then Endgame, and then you'll be all set.
Yep.
You'll be ready for the next phase.
I'm gonna find a way to make us watch the Ed Norton Hulk movie.
Oof.
Ugh. It's not that bad.
no, it's not the worst Marvel movie for sure.
Which
No.
apparently that no longer counts, even though for a while wasn't that supposed to be part of the?
No, it counts. It counts
Yeah.
for
It still
sure.
counts, yeah.
It counts
Because
because
Ross shows up in all the other
If you
movies.
look up,
Yeah.
like, if you go and look up their stuff, it's not. Maybe it's just because Disney doesn't have rights to it, but it's not included in their like.
Paramount has rights to it.
yes,
That's
yes,
why.
Really? Oh.
yes.
Hulk standalone movies are owned by Paramount because that's why
Right.
you haven't seen another Hulk standalone movie.
Just like it's like the what's it called? The thing
Spider-Man
with
deal.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's why he's shown up only in. Although that's got to be coming to an end soon, right? Because Paramount hasn't touched Hulk since
Yeah, who
whatever
knows?
year that was. So
Maybe they do by this point. They do.
maybe
own
they get rights for
Right.
them using him or something. I don't know, but that's why you only see Hulk in like
it. Right.
Thor Ragnarok and stuff.
2008 was that Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
No.
Ruffalo's way better than
Yes.
Yeah.
Norton.
Yeah, Ed Norton. Yeah.
In that role. Norton's a good actor. But... All right, Guardians 2.
Guardians 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. All right, that's it. Peace.
Movie I think I prefer to.
In.
I think I like more than Guardians 1.
Guardians 2 you like more than
Yeah.
Guardians 1?
Yeah.
I think I agree with that.
I don't.
No,
We'll find out. We'll find out next week. What'd you rate this movie on your app that I'll never remember the name of? Mike,
soap opera.
What's that?
what did you rate this movie on your movie app?
Oh, I haven't rated it yet.
Oh, well, you better because you just watched it.
Guardians.
We'll find out next week, I guess.
I'll get it right now. I
A
will
finger.
rate this. Oh, I did. I rated a 3.5.
Wow, that seems a little low.
Yeah, I'm gonna bump that
Well-
up to a 4.
See, it's hard because you only get up to 5 stars, and you can only do half stars.
You can't do
That's
0.25s?
Yeah,
No.
it's hard to give yourself some leeway there.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because then you would have to rate Guardians 2 a 4.5.
I would say 3.5 is plenty good. I mean, it was a good movie. It wasn't great.
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh well.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, time to go. Peace out.
See ya.
Yeah.